for his statement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I want to first and foremost thank the staff for their diligence in perfecting this legislation that we need. A GAO report last year recommended that the Federal Aviation Administration examine its current regulatory framework for space support vehicles and suggest legislative or regulatory changes as applicable. The Commercial Space Vehicle Support Act was largely developed with input from the Department of Transportation report on the permitting process of hybrid launch vehicles to enable non-launch flight operations. NASA has used them for years to conduct parabolic experiments where they go up and down and do the gravity-sensitive checks that they want. It's much cheaper to use an F-104 than it is to launch a rocket costing millions of dollars to do those kind of experiments. The Department of Transportation report concluded that the option of having a single statutory regime and regulatory office oversee a demonstrated commercial space program throughout its operational life cycle would allow consistent application of regulatory philosophy and safety oversight and be more efficient and cost-effective for the launch operator as well as the licensing agency. The Commercial Space Support Vehicle Act provides an appropriate regulatory approach by authorizing the Secretary of Transportation to develop regulations by March 1st, 2019, allowing licensed space support flights. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to include in the record a letter of support from Virgin Galactic for H.R. 5346, the Commercial Space Support Vehicle Act.
Okay, with that, objection is so ordered.
Okay. As mentioned by Chairman Smith and the Ranking Member Lipinski, the intent is to include the development of regulations in the regulatory reform process that the Vice President and the National Space Council tasked the Federal Aviation Administration to comply by the date previously mentioned. I thank you very much and yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Posey. If there's no